Do y'all hear the goats? They won't stop buying. Shit! Hey! Don't talk back. I really hope y'all can hear them, because then it just makes it look like I'm crazy just talking to the wall. What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new reaction, and today we're watching the top 10 British shows Americans can't handle. I don't know exactly what this means. Like, is it just too bad we can't watch it? Because I feel like Americans are kind of like immune to like bad stuff. You know, there's quite a bit that goes on over here. Or maybe it's just like super weird that like it's only in the UK. But like America is super weird too, so I don't know. I guess we're just gonna have to watch it. So we're about to get into it. Go on YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, drop a like if you want to see more reactions like this. But other than that, let's get into it.
Number 10, Taskmaster. Panel shows used to be much bigger in America, but today they're definitely more common and more popular over here.
Everybody, hold on to your butts.
What?
Taskmaster is probably the most unique panel show currently airing on British television, and it's proven massively popular worldwide. But not in America, it seems, where it was given a remake in 2018 that didn't land with American audiences.
Yeah, I've never heard of this before in my life.
Also, you get an extra point if you can make the pizza person say the word bubbles.
The British version still has a following, but something about it didn't translate to an American host and American panel, even if Alex Horne was still there to watch over his own creation. Still, it's hard to imagine the visceral Alex birth scene Sally Phillips created making it onto American broadcast television. We can't even really show you it on YouTube.
Could draw all over your arse. A pastoral scene.
Oh, I'll just take the coconut.
Yeah, you take the coconut to the post office.
Number 9.
So what is it? What do you have to do? I might have to look it up. Taskmaster, do they like give you a task and you gotta do it? I don't know.
Little Britain, USA.
Britain and America. Two great nations linked throughout history.
Did Americans like Matt Lucas and David Walliams taking aim at their culture? Well, apparently not. Despite many Brits successfully satirizing the United States, Jesse Armstrong and Armando Iannucci chief among them, Walliams and Lucas weren't part of that lucky bunch.
Oh, look, Andy. They got a pool here. You can have a swim in there later.
Nah, I bet people piss in it.
It probably didn't help that the
Facts.
show was still called Little Britain, as well as the fact they reused a lot of the British version's most popular characters, as if the likes of Daffod and Vicky Pollard would land on the other side of the Atlantic.
So it was an American show that they tried to remake Little Britain in America? That makes zero sense. Like, that just doesn't work. So it was just like an American spin-off. Listen, America's got to stop doing that. They tried it with the Inbetweeners. It didn't work. I guess their head got too big because The Office is a hit. And The Office was a British show first. So they just think they can do it with anything. They can't. Literally every other show they've tried to make an American spin-off for, it's pretty much been terrible.
I've got her down for a double hip replacement.
Oh no, well there must be some kind of mistake.
And Pitt says no.
It wasn't popularly received, and only 6 episodes ever aired.
Them things are thangin', ain't they? Them things dangling low. She's about to hit the roulette.
Despite HBO apparently wanting to keep working with the pair. Number 8, Misfits. The American remake of Misfits has never seen the light of day, which is probably for the best.
I'll tell you who did it. It's that Banksy prick. There's a hidden meaning. It's like that monkey policeman with a banana and a Tesco's bag.
It was in development for years, even casting some of its stars, but then quietly disappeared. Presumably, it was terrible and production ended, even though Misfits might be one of the easier British properties to adapt.
Who are we? Who are we to condemn them?
Of course, America's got plenty of superhero shows of its own, and maybe this British import wouldn't have landed in 2017 the same way it did in 2009, when it was fresh. But upon hearing the news of another remake, British and American fans all reacted the same way. Why?
I'm telling you, by this time next week, it'll be back to the same old boring
Number 7, Gavin and Stacey. It's very difficult to imagine that Gavin and Stacey, which draws so heavily on the unique cultures of England and Wales, could ever have been adapted for America.
Well, can you believe we're actually going to meet tomorrow?
It's only 17 hours to go now, babes.
But a version was made, called Us and Them, featuring a Gavin from New York City and a Stacey from the faraway, distant land of Pennsylvania.
Are you all set for tomorrow?
Yes. Jeez Louise, I can't believe we're finally going to meet in person.
Originally slated to air on Fox, it was quickly moved onto streaming, where it seemed nobody watched it.
Yeah, where shows go to die. If it airs on like a big like television channel, like Fox or something, and then they're like, okay, yeah, let's put it on streaming only, that's where it goes to die. It just slowly fades away from existence.
Like the idea of my daughter on a blind date all the way in New York.
Though many of the jokes were directly lifted from the British version, it just wasn't a format that worked. But the original...
So they used a bunch of the same jokes? What the heck? That's basically just a copy and paste, just change where they're from. Like, I feel like if you do a spin-off, it has to be like, yeah, kind of the same, but not exactly the same. Like, if the only difference is them just being in America, it's probably not going to be good.
Sitcom hadn't received much interest in the US either, with its strong Welsh accents and references to niche British culture.
Stacey, love, you've got to chill out. Thing to remember is don't go giving him nothing on the first night.
Number 6.
Oh, Granny been around. She giving out game.
Absolutely fabulous. Are Jennifer Saunders and Joanna Lumley completely irreplaceable as Eddie Monsoon and Patsy Stone?
You know a show's good when it's been on for 20 years. That said 1992 to 2012. Dang.
Almost definitely. Though the Americans did give it a go.
Patsy Stone, 39, international beauty and style guru.
After a botched attempt to make an American version back in the 90s, potentially fronted by A-lister Carrie Fisher, they came back with another iteration in 2009, and it was not well received, with only a pilot ever being made.
That's the funniest thing, when a show, they put all that money into like getting the casting done and writing the script, and they just put out the pilot, and everybody's like, yeah, no, this ain't it. This ain't it.
Bubble, because she's emaciated like a brain.
The strange thing is that the British original had actually aired successfully, though in a 2018 interview, Saunders revealed that America wanted to air ABAB with subtitles.
Where you going? Where you going? I need a wires.
I mean, it makes sense, because, like, a lot of Americans, including your boy, I know, it's hard. We don't really understand, like, half the things in a British accent, especially if it's, like, got, like, Welsh thrown in there and stuff. So, like, yeah, we probably need some subtitles.
Of all the British shows that might be incomprehensible enough to require subtitles, you wouldn't think ABAB would be top of that list. Number 5. Spaced.
Jesus, I cried like a child at the end of Terminator 2. You know, with the thumb and the molten... You know?
The show that launched the careers of its stars and creators, Spaced remains a deeply British cult classic. But you wouldn't think it would be so alien to American audiences, thanks to its liberal references and homages to American properties, including Star Wars and The X-Files.
You're not one of those sci-fi nerds, are you?
No.
You don't spend your evening on the internet discussing symbolism and the X-Files.
But Edgar Wright has said that this is exactly why Spaced wouldn't work in an American version, despite a pilot being made at one point, because part of its charm is how much these Londoners love Hollywood.
Is all this really necessary?
Well, yes. What if we're asked a number of intimate personal questions? We're supposed to be a couple.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to make a show where Americans love something about America. But, like, being in a completely different country and, like, having the love for Hollywood, that's something that, okay, people can get behind.
The nail in the coffin is that Spaced has proven extremely difficult to export because of licensing issues over its contemporary soundtrack.
Oh.
Number 4.
What's that guy's name? Sean? Sean something? Is his name Sean? Maybe he's just in Shaun of the Dead. Simon, yeah. Dude, this movie is a classic. One of my favorite movies ever. So if he's in it, it's gotta be good. At least, it's gotta be at least decent.
The Inbetweeners.
So do you go clubbing a lot then?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
The most notorious American remake of them all, The Inbetweeners US has been widely derided for sanitizing and ruining the classic comedy.
I seen clips of that on TikTok the other day, and I literally, like, physically cringed. Like, it was so bad.
Perfect. We'll see you there tonight.
You'll be coming too?
Totally.
Cool.
Unable to show much nudity or use the original's delightfully bad language, it was a disaster from the get-go.
Why'd they put it on MTV? Like, I feel like that's the weirdest channel to put it on.
By trying to copy its predecessor beat for beat.
Slow down a minute, Si.
Bus wankers!
But do American audiences understand the original? We're sure some do, but the relentless swearing, X-rated humour, underage drinking, and the fact the characters all seem to absolutely hate each other maybe don't land the same way. When bus wankers becomes bus turds, you know you're in trouble.
Hold on, Si, slow down. Bus turds!
See
Number
what I
3.
mean? Like, that's just the cringiest. Oh my god. Like, bro. Turd? That's the best you could get. That's the best. That's the best version of wanker you could get, was calling somebody a turd.
America already had plenty of shows following Jeremy Kyle's format without having to actually put up with Kyle stomping around and insulting everybody.
Gemma's your ex?
Definitely.
Which is hardly surprising because you slept with her sister.
I don't know, Jeremy.
So it was a foregone conclusion that sending Kyle to the US probably wasn't going to work. After all, he barely appeals to British audiences, controversial as his show always was. So what hope did he have abroad?
You say that she has ruined your marriage.
Oh, she did. Yeah, definitely.
It did eventually air in the UK as well, and maybe that's what it was always destined for.
So is it like the Maury Show or like Jerry Springer or something? You can only make so many shows about like this dude cheating on his wife or whose kid is it. Like, after a while, it all just becomes the same thing.
Instead of Brits poking fun at their own exploited underclass, we could laugh at the people in America instead.
He's a manipulative, controlling BS merchant, and you described the sister, right, as a toxic human being who ruined your marriage.
But at least America saw enough sense to cancel it before it went too far. Number 2. Skins. The Inbetweeners was a more realistic depiction of teen life, where Skins is a hedonistic ideal of everything teenagers wished they were doing, but, let's face it, probably weren't.
I don't think I've ever heard of Skins. No, I don't. Like, I feel like I've heard that name before, but I don't think I've ever seen any of the show.
That was it. I'm chilled, right? Why are you so chilled? Because I'm confident and relaxed with my ability to improvise.
Even over here, Skins was controversial, with its unflinching portrayals of mental illness, substance abuse, and sexuality. But then the Americans decided to remake it.
How long are you gonna be? Not long now.
Unlike the Inbetweeners, this time they wanted to keep the sex and substances in, which riled up the US's Puritan audience.
Do they just put all of the failed British or American versions of British shows on MTV? Like, that's just where they all go to die.
You are a lazy little jerk-off, Stanley. We got plans, remember?
Though there were some genuine safeguarding issues, as some of the stars performing those explicit scenes were actually underage. On top of that, it just wasn't very funny.
It's embarrassing, Stanley.
Yep.
Number 1. Naked Attraction. In September 2023, the UK's most explicit dating show finally made its way to American audiences, after popping up on the streaming service Max.
Inside each of these 6 pods, I've lined up a naked singleton. Only one of them will be picked to go on a date.
Though the format has spread throughout liberal Europe, the US was horrified to see half a dozen naked people stuck in coloured boxes and judged. Naked Attraction has full frontal nudity with absolutely no censoring, so it was hardly surprising that America, known for shying away from sex, didn't really like it.
Why do you want to choose a date naked, though?
I just think that this is the next thing, the next best modern thing.
You're just, no, it's not modern. You're just skipping like 6 steps. Like, no, you're just skipping all of the steps of like working up to seeing somebody naked. He was like, yeah, forget it. Put them in a box, take their clothes off. Let's see what we're working with.
Time, this is going to be the norm.
Though the show's defenders say it's actually about body positivity, this just didn't work in the US.
Yeah, I can see that. Just having confidence and just being like, hey, this is me, literally, all of me. But I'm surprised that's not bigger in America, because like, we have Naked and Afraid, where people get butt naked and then go out in the woods and try to survive, like, and that show is a hit. People watch that. I've never watched it. I'm a pass on, you know, Bodie's just slanging in the moonlight. That ain't me. But a lot of people like it, so I'm surprised, like a naked dating show. Yeah.
Though, it's still worth noting that it's topped Max's streaming charts for weeks, so clearly, some of them are enjoying it.
See, that's something America will do, though, is they'll make fun of something so much that it becomes a hit. Like, all it takes is one viral TikTok, and this show is going to be the #1 show for the next month, and then it will fall off and never be talked about again.
In front of you here, we have 6 coloured pods. Inside each of them is a naked man.
Let us know in the comments which of these shows should never have left the UK.
So, hang on. So, do you get to, does it come up and, like, she actually sees them, or does she just, like, have to look at them through, like, the glass? I don't know. I ain't gonna watch it to find out either. But alright guys, that is going to do it for today's reaction. Some of those, yeah, should have never even been attempted. A lot of times America just can't let a good thing be a good thing. They always gotta be like, okay, let's make it our good thing. But if y'all want to see more reactions like this, let me know by hitting that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you go out today, spread love, spread kindness, do something nice for somebody today. I love you guys so much, I really do. JTReacts, I'm out. Peace.